Hello and welcome to the DCTL Teams PD presentation on Discovery Education and PBS Learning Media. These are some digital resources that we've been learning about in our meetings that we wanted to bring to our staff because it has a ton of amazing resources that will help us plan both digitally and face-to-face. So what is Discovery Education? Well, Discovery Education is standards-based digital K through 12 curriculum resources for all subject areas. And the thing to really remember about Discovery Education is it's compatible with Canvas and Google Classroom, which is really great as we are all using one or both of these platforms this year. So Discovery Education resources include videos, web pages, interactive lessons, audio clips, photos, digital field trips, which are super fun, documents, and some channels for digital content based on subject area. PBS Learning Media is an online video streaming service, and this can be incorporated into lessons for both instruction or enrichment, and it includes all curriculum areas. It is also standards-based and has lesson plans and guides for teachers, so that's a pretty cool feature for that one. To find these two resources, you're going to want to open up your Launchpad dashboard and you're going to want to locate the supplemental apps folder. Once you're in the supplemental apps folder, you will be able to see the Discovery Education or the PBS Learning Media apps, and you can click on those to find more information. So what we're going to do is we're going to head into a little tutorial for some ways to use these resources. So I have Discovery Education open on my screen. And for my purposes today, I'm going to kind of search for science because I have used both of these resources for science and social studies. Even though there are all curriculum on there, I found them especially handy for science and social studies, as I feel like that is the least amount of resources that we have for those subjects. So for this tutorial, I'm gonna kind of show you how we can find some science content. So for this, we're gonna go ahead and do by subject. And when you click on by subject, it's gonna take you to all of the different curriculum areas. So I'm going to do science for my tutorial today, although like I said, I focus on science and social studies for Discovery Education, and I've found the content to be extremely helpful in both of those subjects. So I'm going to go ahead and click on science here, and it further breaks it down into the domains for science. I am planning ahead for my curriculum in second grade, and I'm going to go ahead and do life science because we have a unit on the human body coming up. So from there, I'm going to click on human body. It should already default to K through 5 on this, this bottom right here. So if it's not, just make sure that it's on K through 5 with this little kind of rectangle underneath it. Otherwise, the curriculum might be a little bit too advanced for our students. So I'm going to go ahead into human biology. And from here, you can see this is kind of the channel of human biology. So if you scroll down, it's going to give you ideas to kickstart your learning. It's going to give you Discovery Education picks, video segments, and full videos, and then additional resources that you can use. Once you're in the channel, you can kind of find the resource that you want to use. And in my case, I'm going to go ahead and do this video segment on muscles and bones, because I feel like that would maybe work in my lesson. So once you're in the resource, what you can do in the resource is you could do a few things. First, you can add it to your quick list, and this is kind of like a favorites. So think of it as favorites to come back to assign later. You can share it, and when you share this resource, this is where you get that embed code that you can put onto Canvas. You can also share it directly through the links above to Canvas or Google Classroom or any of the other apps that are available there. You can also assign it through Discovery Education. Now, I haven't really played around with this all too much, but if you do assign it, you can click the assign date, which I'm going to just say today, and I can have it due tomorrow. And then you go through and select a class. And because it's an app through our Launchpad, it auto populates your roster. So I'm just going to go ahead and select my science grade 2, and I'm going to just click assign. Now, when the student's going through their Discovery Education app, it should show up for them. So you're just going to say, okay, and then it should be assigned for them. And then finally, you can just kind of create content, add to your content, or download the video to maybe put into some kind of a presentation that you're doing. So those are the ways that you can use the different resources within Discovery Education. One last thing I'm going to kind of go over, well, before I move on to PBS Media, is other than searching for subject by subject, you can also search by standard, which I found very, very helpful for planning ahead. So I'm going to kind of walk you through that. So you click on standard, and it should be auto set to Florida. If it's not, make sure that this state is shown as Florida. And for the case of science, which is what I've used it for mostly, you're going to want to make sure that you go to these 2008 next generation Sunshine State standards to get the correct and most accurate standards for our curriculum. So from here, the next piece of information that's very important to remember is to filter your grade. Otherwise, it's going to just default to kindergarten. So for me, I'm going to go ahead to second grade. And you can enter a keyword if you'd like, or you can search through domains. So coming up, we have Earth and Space Science, and you can click on those, and it kind of, right now we're working on rocks and minerals. So you can click on the rocks and minerals and it will take you to that channel, and so on. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the rocks and minerals. And from here, it will take you to all of the resources that are available about rocks and minerals. And you can kind of go through those, and it gives you the standards. You can also filter different options here. So if you want just videos, just quizzes, closed captions, you can go ahead and filter that way. The last thing I'm going to show you, which I found to be the most important part about Discovery Education, is that our favorite teacher, Miss Frizzle, is here in Discovery Education. So I know since Safari Montage was taken away, I missed having those Magic School Bus videos to kind of supplement my science standards. So if you go onto the science through the subject and you scroll down, you'll see that the Magic School Bus channels here, along with a bunch of other channels. I know Sid the Science Kid is good for the young kiddos, and all of these are different channels that are good to use. Also trending, they kind of update this for different things that are trending, like when the election was going on, and then the inauguration, they all had different resources there. So if you click on the Magic School Bus channel, which is really, really super amazing, you can scroll down and it gives you popular, and then it filters it by the domain. So if you're in life science and you want, something on the butterfly life cycle, there's your full video of the Frizz and her antics. So so that's my biggest takeaway, was the Discovery for Discovery Education was Magic School Bus, but I've also used it for other videos and resources for science and social studies. Now I'm going to go ahead and walk you into PBS Learning Media. This is a similar resource, but I found through PBS Learning Media that the clips weren't as long for some of them. They're just smaller clips, and also not as rich in content, I found. So you can do the same thing. You can filter by subject, you can filter by grade, or by standard. Now for standard, you're going to select the type of standard that you want. Common Core State Standard. You can pick English or math for that. And again, if you want the next generation, that's going to be your science standards. And then you can filter by your grade level. So this PBS Learning Media works very similar to how Discovery Education works. The only difference between the two is that I have not found that it is fully compatible with Canvas or Google Classroom. It's rather you have to keep it up and then play the video from there. So I hope that this was beneficial for you, and I hope you're able to use and explore some of these resources. And be sure to contact the DCTL team if you have any additional questions.